Hey guys, it's Attorney Jack from CruiseCasinoMafia.com, and it's another great morning, and I decided to do a quick video today. And yes, we will get back to systems and showing stuff, but I figured I would do a quick video for you guys. There's a lot of new channels and things that have popped up on YouTube in the last few months. And I'm always going to point out people that are doing interesting things. And that doesn't mean things that I totally agree with or it's my exact philosophy. But if it's free and if it's on YouTube and if there's something to be gained from it, then why shouldn't we point it out? So there's a guy that about 40 days ago started a new YouTube channel. I think it's King's Roulette. He calls himself King something, but it's King's Roulette. You'll see it. It's relatively new in the last 40 days. That's all he really does is roulette. And a lot of people have been asking me about this guy's videos. And I wanted to point out some things that are really cool. So there's things that I love that he's doing, and things that not that they're bad, but things that don't jive with my philosophy. But there's a lot of really good things that he points out in his videos. So I wanted to introduce that to you guys. So you're going to want to go check out King's Roulette. And let's talk about some of the things that he is doing that are pretty interesting real quickly. So number one, this guy is very methodical. He comes from a military background, I believe he says in a lot of his videos. And there's some type of strategic, his mindset is not based on gambling. His mindset is based on a methodology, a rule-based system. So that is something that we always preach here without a doubt, is that you don't go willy-nilly into the casino just because you saw something and start throwing money. He does a lot of simulations on the roulette simulator, okay, before he ever does anything live. And number two, he's very willing to adapt and to try new things and tweak what he believes is already working. So whether it works or not, the tweak, he's willing to try and test things. And that's another big thing that I love to do. And that comes from my trading background, is that you're always tweaking and testing. The third thing, and this is one of the most powerful things you can get out of his videos, and maybe I haven't said this enough live, on the YouTube channel, but the ability to embrace randomness. That's right, the ability to embrace randomness. So you've seen me do things that have patterns on this channel. You've seen me do things that wait for a certain amount of losses or this or that. And those are all really cool bet selections, and you see those from a lot of other people. But what this guy King Harold does is he completely embraces the fact that in roulette and baccarat, that it's random, okay? That you're not trying to figure out the pattern, you're embracing the randomness. And he really sticks to that logic. And I think it really makes sense. So most of his bet selections that you learn, and he uses a lot of columns like I do, or dozens or columns, and he bases them on the bet selection on things that force the randomness. So if it's an even number, you're playing on these columns. If it's an odd number, you're playing on those. And it's not because there's some holy grail pattern there. It's because it forces the randomness. So I really like what he's explaining to people there. But here's the thing I wanted to do this video for, that I think he said it multiple times. And I think it's a brilliant, brilliant statement to make. And I've never heard anybody say it quite like this. So if your system is based on completely understanding that the wheel and the results are random, when you force that randomness, when you decide these are the numbers that I'm covering in a column or straight up numbers or whatever it may be, you are actually forcing the randomness on the other side. And I don't know if you understand what that means. So what that means is that if I'm forcing these random results, that I'm looking for these random results, that means that the casino on the other side has to, quote unquote, force those exact results that I'm not covering. Okay, they have to hit those exact results that I'm not covering. And they have the same random concept that we do, right? They cannot force a specific result any more than we can. So you're putting them into a hole as well, where they have to somehow miraculously, in a random series of events, get those other results. And it's kind of fascinating if you really think about that. Now, he also, on this King Roulette channel, also utilizes different recovery methods. Now, the first time that I saw him utilizing some of these, so sometimes what he does is he's playing the columns, and if he loses on the columns, there's no progression to go up. What he's doing is he's then using an even money bet to then do the recovery. And on first look, a lot of times when I see those, I'm like, wow, that's a real random scenario. You're jumping to a completely different bet to be able to make your money back. But you know what? I'm going to give him a lot of credit for this. I've watched enough of these videos, and I'll tell you something. I think there's something there. I think there is. I'm not telling you it works all the time. I'm not telling you it's, again, some type of holy grail recovery. But I think what's happening there is that he's going from covering 2/3 of the board, essentially, 60-something%, let's say, with 2 columns or dozens. But then he's switching for the recovery, which is closer to a 50% bet, red or black or even odd. Okay, and I know it's not exactly 50%. You do not have to put that in the comments. But that's kind of what it is, right? And I think that some of his success that he's had does have to do with that little interesting little nugget there. So there's a lot of things to see there. Now, let's point out some of the things that maybe are a little bit strange to me or don't completely jive with my philosophy completely. So at the beginning of his channel, he was doing these triple martingales on the columns. Not a huge fan of that for the most part. You know, I'm not a big martingale guy. I know with roulette and some of the roulette strategies, the martingale kind of jives with what you're doing because it's a 2-to-1 payout bet. And it's very difficult to make things work, other money management, when you're doing that. We do have in the private area of Cruise Casino Mafia and some of the private systems where we use the dozens other methods that we use when we're using the 2-to-1 bets. But he quickly switched from the martingale, which means, again, that he's willing to reevaluate. And that's when he started doing more of these switching the recovery to other areas of the roulette board, okay? Now, when he does these recoveries, he's using several of the old-style money management on the red and black or the even money bets. He's using Fibonacci sometimes. He's using D'Alembert. He's using other methods that most of us already know how to use. And they're working pretty effectively. They really are. And I'll tell you, the last thing I want to say with a quick review of that channel is that he's also doing something that a lot of people push. So a lot of people in the comments are always crying and whining and complaining about the demos being on a simulator like I do on my channel or Roulette Master does or other people. And you'll always hear me strike back and say, listen, we're showing you a demo. That's what it is. It doesn't matter where you're playing, if you're playing live or not. It's up to you to demo that, to make any tweaks. And then at that point, if you decide to play live, then go play live. It's not up to me or any other provider, content provider, to give you every opportunity to see it live and simulated, everything else. We're simply doing a quick video to show you a rule-based system or a concept. That's all we do. But the King Harold guy has found a way to video in the live casino near his home. So a lot of things he's doing, he is doing simulated most of the time, excuse me, but he's then videoing some of the things he's doing in the actual live casino with live money. Now, he's not, at least I don't think he's done yet, anything on a live analog wheel. I don't think so. So he's still using the RNG, the software-based systems, but he is recording live play with live money, $200, $300, showing you exactly what's happening with the same systems. So the bottom line is, this guy is doing some interesting stuff. I don't think he's doing anything very creative on the money management side. I also do not believe that what he's looking for as a result in his simulations is anything that I would be looking for. You guys see that most of the time what I'm looking for is 5, 7 units. You're not going to see a lot of systems on the YouTube channel where I'm looking for 10 units or more. Or I'm looking for some big percentage gain. I don't believe in that, especially with roulette. I really don't. Roulette is a game where things turn very quickly. I don't care what your bet selection is. So I'm looking, most of the stuff we do, not everything. There's some great systems in our private area that you can play for a lot longer time. But most of the systems you're seeing on the channel, the free stuff, I always tell you that they're mainly hit and run systems, okay? And the problem is, if you're looking for bigger profit targets, I think you're putting your foot in the shark tank for way too long. And I always use that analogy that when your money is not in play, it's not a risk. And that's where you want your money to be, in my opinion, over 90% of the time, in your hands and not at risk. And that's why we push the fact that you're growing your bankroll so that your 5 units you're looking for, 7 units you're looking for, can be made with higher base bets. And you can only do that as you grow your bankroll. Well, a lot of times on this King Harold, what he's doing is looking for much bigger profit targets in these sessions. He's looking for like a 15% profit target. I think that's extremely aggressive. He's done it, okay, and you can watch the videos and see that. I think that's way too aggressive for a conservative, long-term game plan, okay? And I pointed that out to him, and he's agreed with me that he's doing that on purpose to get aggressive. He started with a small bankroll and tried to grow it, and he did very quickly. So he accomplished what he was looking to do in that first 20 days or 15 days, whatever that was. But I think that's one of the things that I would hearken back to the fact that that's a red flag for me in the way that I teach. So we don't agree on that, but that's okay. That's perfectly okay. You decide how aggressive you want to be, not me and not King Harold. But I'm not as comfortable trying to look for 15% in one session like he is. I think 3 to 5% is where you're going to have a lot better risk to reward. Your consistency, everything else is going to be there. So that's the deal. I just wanted to do a quick review. I wanted to point out a channel. And, I really think that this guy's doing some great stuff because he's showing people how to be methodical. He's showing people a rule-based scenario. He's evaluating, he's tweaking things as he goes along. He's testing things properly. And he has legitimate rules and legitimate profit targets. So, great shout out to King Harold. I appreciate what you're doing, man. You're adding some stuff to the community. And once again, there's another really cool channel for you guys to look at. And I hope if King Harold sees this, that shout out to you. Doing videos on a daily basis like that is not an easy thing. He does a great job of it. And more power to you, my friend. And I wish you the best of luck in 2024 with your brand new YouTube channel, as well as your efforts to make that consistent paychecks like we're all trying to do here. So we'll see you on the next video, guys. And take a look at his channel. I'll try to put something in the description here so you know how to get there. Check it out. We'll see you later. Peace.